Well, everyone, winter's around the corner. Getting the chainsaw ready, put a new carb on it, fuel line, filter, spark plug, and just sharpened up the chain there. That's done. That's been sitting on the bench here for months. It's time to move on to the next project. This Toro Sno Pup, it's a little snow blower I picked up for free. Let's check it out. Yeah, this is a little freebie I picked up. It's in really nice shape. It's all there. And I think it's had a very little use. These are the little flappers that flap the snow when the engine turns. It's chain driven, direct drive off the crank. There's no clutch. There's actually very little wear on this, and even these little plastic, you can aim the snow which direction you want it to go. It's pretty funny, very basic, and it's propelled by this little two-stroke engine, which I think is made by Tecumseh, but I could be wrong. You got a primer bulb. You can hear it pumping air. At least it's working. This is your choke, and I think that's the choke on and choke off. I could be wrong in that. There's no. Oh, there are instructions. Ah, there we go. This also tells a very funny part for me. This is the best part of this machine. It is a two-stroke, and you mix it with. First of all, it's measured in pints of 30 weight motor oil. You don't use two-stroke oil. It takes friggin' motor oil to mix with the fuel, and I'm gonna guess it smokes a lot, but I am gonna try and get this running. And you know how it is, when you prepare for winter, winter isn't too bad, but when you don't prepare for winter, you get dealt a lot of snow, which was kind of what happened here last year. We had the tractor outside, which did a great job. But this is just a little something extra. Oh, what do we have hiding here? Here we do have the stop switch, which is kind of weird how this covers on here. It keeps the snow out, obviously, but it just grounds out the spark plug. That's what I'm talking. This thing is basic. Just grounds out the spark of the coil. Oh, when was the last time that champion was out? Anyway, that's that. They told me this thing was running a couple of years ago. Brian was the nice guy on Facebook who decided to donate this Toro Sno Pup to the project. And the whole idea is me, Mike, a couple other guys, we're getting some snow blowers together this year. Number one, to scare off winter. Like I said, when you're prepared for winter, it's not so bad. So we're hoping to scare away winter for everybody. But in case winter is a little bit of a problem, we're going to get plowing. And so, you know, it's not a big unit here, but that's kind of the joke is we look for something old. We're looking for a snowblower that's got a bit of character, smoke, sparks, fire, doesn't matter. Entertainment is key, and it's got to move some snow eventually too. So rather than just put gas in this and see if it's going to run, I know it needs probably at least a fuel tank rinse, and the fuel tank looks like it's just this little cylinder at the back. So I think we're going to start by taking, it's difficult to balance on the table here. What we're going to start with, I think, is taking the bars off. Because I think that's how you would get the cover off. I don't know. Seems like it's kind of sandwiched. Oh, or it just lifts off. This could be easier said than, or actually easier done than said. Does this just pop off? Oh my goodness. Oh, I never. All right, I'm going to pop this cover off and give you a proper look. Wow. In reality, step one in reality should be to clear off and give this thing a little blow. Get all the crud off of it. Here's the model serial number. Minnesota. So what do we have here? Is this 6? 8 or 3. 31502-305868. Now it's those last two digits I'm intrigued by. I wonder if that's the model year. I'm not sure. Are there some digits further up there? There actually are 199208 patent numbers, it looks like. Anyway, I think this is our model number and serial, but I was really curious to see what year this was made. Anyway, here's our little power plant. Tiny little carburetor. It's actually, this is the carb off that chainsaw. This is the old carb off of it. It's actually, this has a bigger carb, which isn't a surprise at all. Now, I heard this was a 3-horse engine, but again, you know, I don't know what it is. YouTube and Google are your friend. So, does it turn over? Well, we'll give the cord a tug. Sure does. It's not seized, that's good. Wart plug J17LA. Yeah, I think they'll run an RJ now with a resistor in there. To reduce radio interference. Oh, it's loose too. It's not even, it's the threaded on tip, but it's loose. Now, what do we have here? Carburetor. Looks like the fuel line's a little rotted up. Probably just put a new piece of fuel in. I'm pretty sure I've got some right there. Other than that, intake-wise, it looks like it just sucks up the air from inside the case here. No filtration. Yeah, it comes. The air intake would be right about here. It looks like. Probably this would be the way of getting rid of hot air. I don't know. Who knows? Who really knows? Anyway, it's a little crusty. I'm not going to bother cleaning it up for this. And of course I have to know, what does the inside of the fuel tank look like? Okay. That's why you don't just put gas in it and fire it up. Because you never know what sort of crud and critters might be in there. Oh my goodness. Thankfully it's 2 flat bladed screws to remove that tank. Like I said, oh, it smells too like old kerosene. That is some old fuel. I'm surprised the primer bulb is still intact on this side anyway. But that's kind of the deal. I guess you can set your height here. That's kind of all right. These tiny little wheels. No, it's not self-propelled. And like I said earlier, I think I said, it is direct drive off the crankshaft. So that's kind of how things work here. And let's just turn it around. Not sure what they recommend for a lube for the chain. I'll just grease it up with some marine. Actually, I think I've got some marine grease. I think I found this tube of grease in the vehicle I bought, and obviously have used it, but I think I'm going to grease that chain. Should keep that rolling nice and happy. And then it's probably worth, honestly, it's probably worth pulling the carburetor off. But that looks like that would remove, oh, this has been riveted together with a custom-made bracket. I don't think that came like that from the factory. Nor would it come with a huge washer there, but I think it's probably worth taking the carb off, because I know what's going to happen if I don't. It's going to not run. But mind you, it doesn't really have, well, you know, I looked at it, and taking this lower cover is really only these 2 nuts and bolts on either side. And these 2 little 3/8 nuts there. This should pop right off. It'll leave behind the choke control. We'll have full access to the carburetor, so let's try that. Once you have your bolts undone for that rear cover, it actually comes off with the fuel tank. You can slip the fuel line off the carburetor. And mine was draining out some pretty putrid looking fuel. Real oily fuel, so it's probably for mixing 30 weight oil with your gas. Obviously the oil will just not evaporate. Eesh. So we've got a carb now. So there's our intake. Our air filter consists of this chute to make sure like large animals don't get in. What do we have here? We've got an adjustment screw. We've got another adjustment screw. I don't know, I'm assuming one's for idle, one's for mixture. I don't really know how these work. There's our choke. So now when we pull the choke, as they say, I'm assuming that's closed off. And when we push it in, well, it's the other way. We'll never know. Well, I guess we could take this cap off here. It's just 2 screws. I think we'll figure it out. We don't need to worry about that. Now, how does this piece of fuel line look? For the primer. Oh. I see. That's not best. It's just hanging off. Not going anywhere. Where does that go? The primer bulb. It looks like there's a hole here. That looks promising, but it looks blocked off. So this would have to, this hose here, oh, that would reach way out there, which doesn't make any sense. Unless it went under and over the carb here. There's nowhere for this to go. And the end of it, it looks like it's intact, but who knows where it goes. Anyway, I'm going to have to do a little bit of Googling in this machine. I'm going to pull off the fuel tank, rinse it out with some fresh gas, put on a new piece of fuel line. We're going to pull the spark plug and see how it goes, but we'll keep this short. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, and we'll see if we get the Sno Pup working.